Guys, how's it going? Let's see. Okay. Probably Rohan. I thought, let's see if I can just give you guys some kind of a stream rather than no stream. So I just loaded up my phone. Did you get notified, Rohan, or did it? Oh, hi, Jess. Okay, that's 2 people in. Samantha. Okay, that's 5 people that have joined. There's Sarah. Oh, the great ones. George Phillips, Charleston, Robin, Ethan's joined. It says only 5 of you are here, but it seems like there's more of you here. Eric, nice attic. Oh, so you're kind of seeing. I thought you guys couldn't tell with my attic before. With the, let's see if I can show you the. And normally you see those games behind me. You're in live short mode. Oh, you mean live YouTube short mode? Yeah. No, I'm not in short mode. I tried to turn it sideways, landscape mode, but it says you're locked in portrait. George Phillips, you didn't miss anything. I just loaded up my phone. Am I coming in clear on my phone here? 21 of you have joined. That's good. So even though I'm not on my computer setup, which I can still see. Oh, what has it done? There you go. Which I can still see here. See, you can see me over there. Huh. I wonder, actually. Sorry, Jess, it's not my house to do that. I can't. And plus, that's not something which I think I'd feel comfortable doing or my family would prefer. You know what, guys? Let me see if I can try something here, because I don't know why it's locking me in. Orientation is locked. How do you turn it into landscape? Let me see, you guys, if I can actually give you the stream now. I think I found a way. Anytime I want to show you a visual aid, I can just switch to that. Let me see. It will require a little bit of a little bit of fiddling around. I think we can probably do something here. It's not going to be great, and I don't know why it's locked me into landscape, into portrait. I do have a phone stand. I've got one right over here. Let me see if I can do this. Oh, that's a bit too slanted. Okay, let's do that. And let's switch it over here. When I press it, it switches it to my face for some reason. Okay, there. Now you can see that. Now, oh, damn it. That was a pretty brutal fall, that. But thankfully it was on my book right here. Let's see. How can I keep this stood up? I don't think I can. The more I'm trying and weighing out my options. Let's see here. Let's do that. Nope, you don't want to do that. Ooh. Oh, wow. I didn't know my stand could do this. Let's try this out. Let's see. Oh, that's making the phone tilt a bit now. Let me see. Let's put this box underneath. Oh, there you go. There, so you see something. Guys, you're still on here, right? You can still... I can't see as many of your comments. That's kind of the freaky thing about this. Okay, so you can see this screen, can't you? Oh, and it does let you zoom in. Let's try to bring the monitor down then. Let's see, I can bring it down. There we go. This is funny, isn't it? I thought instead, because a lot of you guys are saying that you're not going to be available tomorrow, and that's why I always do these streams on a Sunday. Oh, that's zoomed in way too much. It lets you pinch your fingers, but it doesn't let you make slight adjustments. So this is probably the best we've got. Are you guys hearing me clearly? For me to like keep track of this, can you? I think is what it is. That's why. Let's see. Okay, can you guys hear me clearly now as well? So you can see me over there. Can you hear me clearly as well? No, I'm not using my data. I'm actually... Huh. So we're stuttering again. Am I stuttering again? That is bizarre. Mostly, you should head down and check the router. You were sort of pixelated. Wow, I actually thought that was a problem with my computer. It seems to be a problem with the phone now. It says, okay, now you're fine. Only a bit. You can hear me clearly, Khan. Okay. Because my phone is fast when I'm using the internet for everything else. Only a bit. Yes, we can hear you. Disney needs to leave him alone. Guys, give me some more feedback on what you think about the sound quality and if the stream is consistent. Can hear you pretty well, says George Phillips. That's very good. Wow, 42 of you. I didn't think all of you would want to join when I'm doing this right here. It's okay, says Samantha. Can hear you pretty well, says George. Can hear you well, says Saeed. How about the rest of you? What the hell? It's getting better. It's very okay. Oh, hi, Sonic. I can hear you, but he's starting to get a little frozen here for some reason. If the stream doesn't work, please set up a video chat, Eric, so we can all talk to you. Little stuttery, but I can make out what you're saying. Hear you perfectly. A lot better. I can hear you well. It's okay. Mine's getting a better bit. Okay, then. You know what, guys? Instead of doing the stream with the stories, I'll save that for tomorrow. What about a Google Meet? I haven't set that up before and I don't know how to do it, so now is not the best time to do something like that. Okay, guys, how about instead of doing the stories, how about we just do a Q&A? Is that all right? How about we just do a Q&A so at least we get something rather than nothing, and I'll try to fix this. And maybe instead of tomorrow, I'll do the stream next week, so it's a Sunday, so most of you can join. I'll see what happens. Sonic says, I'm gonna leave since I have to go somewhere. See ya, no problem. Sonic, my boy, it's okay. I don't think... Yeah, Josh, man, I agree with you. I don't think it's a consistent. I feel like it's better to do the stream tomorrow. Yeah, it will be, wouldn't it? That's all right. Please, next week. Q&A is cool. Okay, that's all good then. We'll do a Q&A. Let me see. Can I get in closer here? Let's do a Q&A. Okay, then. So, questions and stuff. Go ahead and leave questions. Do you guys... Can you still leave super chats? Because I don't know how super chats appear on this. I don't know how they appear on my phone, so that'll be an interesting thing. I once did a live stream a long time ago on my iPad, so it probably would have been better to bring the iPad out, but I remember the camera on that was not particularly good. But then again, look what we're doing now, so I don't think that would have been a problem. Jess says, yes, Super Chats still work for you, that's good. Robin, I won't be doing a versus video between the 3 Deadpool movies. Originally, I was going to, but as I talked to my brother about it, I realized I just don't have a passion for it, to be perfectly honest with you. So I didn't end up doing it. That's why I didn't do that. Time Shadow has done a £1 super chat, so thank you very much for that. And yes, it shows that super chats do work on this, so that's good. So thank you very much, Time Shadow, for that. That's very good. What's up with the quality? Buddy, we had a problem with the live stream. For some reason, my internet had cut out, so I don't know what's going on. The internet is weird, so the stream wasn't maintaining itself. So I'm gonna have to delay the stream for these stories and talk about them another day, which is a shame. I really did want to talk about them today, and I set it all up today, so it's a shame that it's not going to work out that way. But yeah, don't worry. I'll save these stories and we can talk about them next. I'll try to figure out what the problem is for next time. King of the Monsters sent a Streamlabs over. Okay, I appreciate that. Just so you know, King of the Monsters, I think it'll be tricky to actually. No, I think I could do your posters actually. Let's see. But usually I don't show what goes on in my streams here. Okay, give me a quick second. Let me. Oh, Sarah. Hold on, hold on. Let me switch back. Sarah has done $6 super chat. Thank you very much, Sarah. And she says, "What's your next versus video going to be? Any ideas? And also, why choose that movie? Why choose what movie? What movie are you talking about?" Um, I'll answer the first part of your question. My next versus video is going to be Batman the Cape Crusader versus Batman the Animated Series. And the versus video after that will be Puss in Boots 1 versus Puss in Boots 2. And I've got other videos in between that I'll be releasing. But what do you mean? And also, why choose that movie? What movie are you talking about? Now, in the meantime, I'm going to go over and find... Let's go to my Streamlabs chats here. Why does my eye look one more open than the other on this camera for some reason? Because I don't look like that. I look like what you see on my other screen. These smartphones. Let's see. Oh, King of the Monsters says, how do you put the poster in OBS? All right, then, if you want to see how I do that. This is what I do, King of the Monsters. And by the way, thank you for the £1 super chat. So what I do is I'll copy the link to the first thing you've sent me, like this. I'll open up a new tab like that. This content is no longer available. Is it the question mark at the end? Huh. All right, let's try your second... Oh, the whole thing is a link. Oh, wow, that's a bloody long link, that is. Okay, let's try that again. Let's do that. There we go. Okay, so then I just paste it in. Oh, this is what I normally see. So I see it first, and then what I do... Give me a second. I've got family pictures and things here and things, and we just, like I said, had a wedding recently. I don't want any of those names to pop up because I got a bunch of people's names here. Okay, I go to YouTube and I go to my folder here. Then I go over to live streams. Here we go. I go to live streams, and then I go over to live stream. It was images from viewers, and then I make a new folder of the live stream that I'm doing. So this is a live stream number, let's see, I've got live stream number 39. So I'll write that in, and then I'll press save. And then what I'll do is I'll go over to OBS, where you can see me right here. And I have to press the plus button, which is off screen. You can't see it. Tilt this here. See the plus button right here? Then I go into image, and this is where I have to add... Actually, no, I don't do that. Give me a second. That's the long-winded way, how I did it at the beginning, but then I found out, no, there's a better way. So you got to go into my live stream folder. I go to images from viewers. I go into this, and then here is the picture that you sent over. So then what I do is I go over here, drag and drop it in, and on the preview section right here, there it is. Oh, it's for some reason dragging a different poster. So there it is. I drag it, I position it over here, I make it bigger. Usually it was like this freaking big when you used to send me those posters at the beginning, which were really high resolution. So yeah, I do that. Then what I do is I click the transition button right here, and it cross dissolves it in. So there you go. That's a little behind the scenes as to how I do it. And MovieFan2002 has also given a $5 super chat. It says, Eric, what were your thoughts on the Fox Marvel tribute during the end credits of Deadpool and Wolverine? I really liked that tribute. Really, I did. I was like, I'm not getting emotional, but I'm getting very nostalgic, and it makes me feel quite sad that they ended the Fox X-Men movies because I really liked those, and even when they were bad, it's like they were bad, but you always felt like something good was coming right around the corner, and you still watching characters you enjoyed. So the lower points of movies like say X-Men Dark Phoenix or X-Men Origins Wolverine, there was still fun in watching Hugh Jackman play Wolverine. There was still fun in watching James McAvoy, Michael Fassbender play Professor Xavier and Magneto. So for all the bad things they've done, there was still a lot of good stuff in there too, where I was very happy. So that's how I would best describe that, to be honest with you. And you know what? Let me see if I can. It doesn't let you be very precise, does it? Let's see if I can angle this a little better. There you go. So you get to see me a little bigger on the screen at least. Let's see if I wonder if I can get another thing to put on top of this box. It will center me a little. All right, then let's give that a try, and I'll read your other comments. So bear with me, everyone. Let's put this underneath just to level up the box. There you go. You see me a little bit more centered. So yeah, Movie Fan 2002. That's what I think about that. You need to put the full thing. Yeah, I've done that. All right. Sarah has given another $6 super chat. And she says, why did you choose the Batman movie and Puss in Boots movie for the Versus video? Should have explained better. Yeah, probably, but it's okay. I got it now. Well, the Batman Versus video I'm doing is because originally I was going to do the thing that I normally do when you see me like in this square image in the top left of the frame. Usually I would do that. And after I've done that, what I would do is, I'll do all the editing on this side of the screen that you can see right here. That's what I would usually do. But then I was like, I don't know, I feel like there's a lot more I want to say about this. And then, yeah, the video is over 30 minutes long. So clearly I did have a lot to say about it. So yeah, that video is getting closer to being done, but it's a lot of work. But don't worry, you'll get an Alien Romulus review in the meantime. And of course, when I want to talk about some news-related stuff, you'll get some of those as well. So that's why you'll get that. And the Puss in Boots versus video, that's because it was commissioned by a patron. Someone on one of my patron members spent how much was it? Was it $350 to commission a versus video? And it was Gregory Bronstein, and he commissioned that. So he commissioned it, and when that happens, I'm gonna make a versus video of his choosing. And for him, it was Puss in Boots 1 versus Puss in Boots 2. So that's why I'm gonna do that. And G Gamer, he also commissioned a quick movie review. So if you want to see what commissions you can do, head on over to my Patreon and you'll see. So yeah, that's why I did. No Shame is saying, are we covering the Donald Trump story? All right, let's take a look at this poster then, shall we? Let's see if I can zoom into it so it's bigger. You know what? How about instead of zooming in, how about I just pick up my phone and stop being lazy? All right then, so this is what he sent over. Take a look at it right here. I can't make out the cast at the top. Let's see if I make the image bigger. Will I be able to make it out? Because he's clearly got a cast list over here. All right, so let's see. Here it is, the cast list. He's got Farrell, who I'm assuming is going to be Donald Trump, Charlize Theron, Greg Kinnear, Josh Hutcherson, Channing Tatum, Adam Rodriguez, with Meryl Streep and Larry David. That's actually some pretty good casting you've got there. That is actually pretty funny, that is. So, yeah, this is the poster. That's a pretty good poster they've done. That almost looks like it could be an actual movie if you put actual actors in it rather than putting in just, the real people. If you put in the actual actors, I think that would be cool. It would look more movie-like, I think. But yeah, very, very well done on that. That King of the Monsters really has a talent when it comes to these posters, doesn't he? So yeah, who got wet? That's funny. No, it's not a stream about Trump, Jess. Is the stream back on? Spirit Hero, I'm doing something rather than nothing, so I'm trying to work within my limitations. You guys don't seem to be having any complaints with the connection of the live stream right now, so it looks like my phone is doing a better job than for some reason, which is so bizarre. Let's see. Oh, wow, because funny. Wow, Eric, this is amazing. Oh, so are you guys enjoying this then when I showed you a little behind the scenes? Because it's hot, like I said, I can see less of your messages once right now. Rohan says I paid 7,000. What do you mean? As a Streamlabs chat or as a super chat? Yeah, Ethan's drawings you can. You have to send them through Streamlabs and then I'll put them through. Yeah. Guys, this is kind of creepy. I don't know why. It just doesn't feel like I'm actually seeing you guys in the levels that I usually do when you're messaging 5 comments at a time. Samantha, I'm 29. Just turned 29 a couple of months ago, by the way. It was actually my birthday on that live stream, because it crossed over to midnight, and it was my birthday, and a lot of you guys wished me a happy birthday then, which was very nice. King of the Monster says 2021 says I'm making a Chris Nolan biopic poster, but I'm using Chris Nolan's actual face rather than the actor I want him to play. Oh, that's interesting. I'll be curious to see that. The G Gamer says, "Well, it's probably because many viewers left after the glitch that happened started. I stayed." That is true, and I don't know how many of you are actually going to enjoy this method, this portrait kind of like live stream. I don't know if you guys would particularly prefer that. But yeah, like I said, working within limitations. This is a one-off. Of all the live streams I've done, this is the only time this has happened. So hopefully it will get fixed. That's my hope, and I'll discuss these stories hopefully maybe next week. But yeah, there's 36 of you, which is a good number considering what happened. So yeah. Opinion on the Mandy and Georgie spin-off. Oh, you mean the Young Sheldon spin-off? It's cool. I would have liked one where his mother and sister were there more often because that's what should happen in the story next, is they should be there with him because he said that to Sheldon in the Big Bang Theory show. But it's still something rather nothing. But we'll see what they do with it. I hear that the mother and sister will be in there for one episode. I think they should be in there for more episodes than just one. Okay, a longer live stream next week, says Saeed. We'll see. Let's hope everything gets. Let's try getting everything up and running and working again before we, go on the longer live stream. Eric, are you aware of all the drama going on right now on YouTube? No, I'm not. What drama is going on YouTube? The only drama I know that's going on YouTube right now is Blake Lively, but that's it. Classic Brickman says, opinion on Human Torch and Deadpool 3. I liked him, but I wasn't too fond of the way they got rid of him. Fireboy says, I'm going to go. Okay, then. Goodbye, Fireboy. I'm sorry that this stream didn't work out the way it was supposed to, but hopefully I can speak to you again next week, and you can have a much more enjoyable live stream. And things should go back to normal as they were. Okay. K2C says, I would love to see you do Aquaman versus Aquaman 2 comparison. I was going to, but the movie did not really get much interest from people, and it's really no comparison. The first movie wins. The second one was just a mess in terms of editing. It really was. Robin says, thoughts on Robin probably being in the Batman Part 2. I think that's actually interesting. I'm actually really excited to see what they do with that, if you ask me. Ooh, Batman's Gamer says, no hopes for Batman Arkham Shadow. I'll let you know a bit of Arkham Shadow. I thought it was, it looked really good. It's a VR game, which is unfortunate because a lot of us wanted another Arkham game, but instead we got Gotham Knights. And as well as Gotham Knights, we also got, as well as Arkham Knights, we also got something else. What was it? Suicide Squad killed a Justice League. So just a bunch of nonsense, really. Saeed says the frame rate is so bad. Is the frame rate bad? Or I thought it seemed like it was going well, but there's 25 of you now, so who knows? Maybe it did get bad. Batman's Gamer says, is he glitching again? Am I glitching again? I can't be glitching again. The Wi-Fi's good on my phone right now. Okay. The G Gamer says, what's a movie people loved that you just... Where is it? What's a movie people loved that you just found to be okay, but would understand why people love it? Man of Steel is that for me. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem is another one of those movies to me. So yeah, I would say a couple of those are a couple of prime examples. Even the first Avengers as well. Well, actually, I thought it was better than okay, so I wouldn't say that was okay. I glitched for a few seconds. Okay, that's good, so long as it fixed itself. Man, Sarah is at it again. She's done a $24 super chat. Thank you, Sarah. Really. Uh, I'm curious of whether you finished the Last of Us show. I remember you making videos about it, but I don't remember you making videos about the rest of the show. I'm also curious about whether you like the rest of it. I actually didn't finish watching the rest of it because I'll tell you what happened. I was actually getting a new computer. So the computer I've got now is my Mac Mini. And I got that, and prior I was using a MacBook Pro, which was connected to this very monitor that you're seeing right now. So yeah, I was basically, my computer was right towards the end of its lifespan. Like, it was slow. Editing those Last of Us Versus videos, the first two you got, you guys probably don't realize, but it was a miracle I got those videos done in the short time span that I got them done as well. Because my computer was so slow at everything, and I had to go through skim through footage from the show and skim through footage of like hours worth of video game footage. It was not easy. It was a pain in the butt for sure. So the fact I even managed to get it done just astonishes me. And yeah, by the time the third episode came around, my new computer came in. I had to clean the whole area. I had to remove all my components and my microphone, my monitor, and everything, and clean the surface area. Then I had to put everything back and set up the new computer from scratch, including updating all the software I was using. So in the time I was doing all that, the next Last of Us episode came out, and I was too late, and I knew I couldn't catch up. And the views, unfortunately, weren't there either. So I was like, you know what? I need to move on to something else. And I'm already out of sync, out of place with it. And the show myself, I wasn't really enjoying it personally. But that's the reason why. It is sad, but it's what happens when you go through a transition of using. It's what happens when you go through a transition of switching from your old computer to your new computer. So yeah, that's what happened with that, Sarah. And I never really got to finish watching it, which is a shame. But I gotta say, I wasn't really into it. I thought the game did a much better job with the performances. I thought the game did a much better job with the music. It did a much better job with the pacing, with the character development. I wasn't a fond of how they were just meandering a lot. Like, was it in episode 3 when they had the couple? Was it the gay couple? In the game, there are lesser characters. It's like they're more like the characters that Ellie and Joel bump into. But in this, they did a whole episode about them, and I thought it went on for too long. And then it has all the on the nose romance stuff that I don't like. Like when they start bringing strawberries out, I'm like, okay, strawberries. It's like you're really trying to go for that postcard kind of romance. That's what I call the strawberry thing. I always call it postcard romance. I've never liked it in the past, even when I was a kid. Even now, I don't like it. So when I saw it, I was like, oh boy. But yeah, that's I think if you've played the game, which I have, I've got the game behind me over there on PS4. If you play the game, you don't really need to see the show because I don't think the show does anything better that the game did. So that's my opinions on that. I've got very strong opinions about that as well. So let's see. Kevin has done a $2 super chat. Thank you very, very much, Kevin. Let me write this down. $2. And Kevin says, are seasons 5 and 6 of Ed, Ed and Eddie very stupid? The whole show is very stupid, but I love it. To me, when I think Cartoon Network, the first characters that pop into my head are Ed, Ed and Eddie. I love that show. I still watch it to this day. I haven't watched it for quite a few months, but I still have them, or have access to them, and I make sure that I'm watch them whenever I feel like it. I love those old Cartoon Network stuff. And Sumitra Ghosh has done, I don't know what currency that is. That's 40 something. I don't know how to translate that, but I'll try. Let me just write that down. I'll put that symbol in and then it's like a 3 with a tail is the best way I can describe it. 40 on the currency. Thank you very much. Says, have you watched Batman Caped Crusader? Yes, I have. And I'm going to be doing a versus video on it with the animated series, with season 1 of Batman the animated series. So stay tuned for that. You're going to want to watch that. Eric, are you currently answering questions? Says Tyler Edwards. Yes, I am. I am answering questions. This is a Q&A, so ask your questions and I'll answer them. And Sarah, again, thank you very much. I really appreciate your generosity with these donations because I always say these donations really help, and I really appreciate that you, whenever you do them. So thank you very much. Tyler Edwards says, hey, Eric, do you think we might get a Kick-Ass 1 versus Kick-Ass 2? We could at some point. When I've got less. It's rupees, is it? Okay, I'll write down rupees just so I know. I could do Kick-Ass 1 and 2 at some point. Yeah, that would actually be a pretty interesting versus video. Big Bash says Sarah is the best. She really is. Saeed says glitch again. Don't worry, when the glitch happens, I'll stop. And then let me know when the glitch has stopped, and then I'll continue. Is the glitch still there, or is it over? You didn't miss much, Big Bash. I'm just answering questions. Has it frozen again? It's gone a little bit. Tyler Edwards says, "What are your thoughts on Kick-Ass 1 specifically? You're good, but I don't know if you saw my question because of the glitch. What were the stories? Uh, K to the C, what question did you ask? Thoughts on Robert Pattinson's Batman getting a sequel? I got even more hyped for it the moment I realized that it was Joker talking to Riddler at the prison. Yeah, I want to see more of that world, so I really do hope they make more. I do love the Batman. Opinion on Gumball and regular show. Big Bash, I've not talked about the stories. I'm just talking about, like, people are asking questions like, did I see The Last of Us? Did I finish The Last of Us? Sarah asked that. She dropped another $24 donation, so that was very generous of her. And yeah, so these are the questions I'm kind of answering, just people's questions. So this is a big, like, Q&A video, this is. Imagine if Disney got Sonic instead of Paramount, they'd definitely screw it up. Yeah, they would. They'd find a way. Opinion on Classic Brickman says opinion on Gumball and regular show. Gumball was really fun. I didn't watch the whole entire show, but I watched a lot of it. And the same with regular show. They're very weird shows, but I feel like regular show. I The first half of the episode of regular show was always really good. The second half is when it got high, when it's like it got really crazy, and that's where I was like usually not into it as much. I always found the idea they started with was better than the idea they concluded with, is what I think of regular show. But there are some episodes where they didn't go crazy in the second half, and it was just consistently great for me. So yeah, I do like both of those shows, but I was a lot older when it happened. Let's see. Pop culture fan says, "Hey Eric, you inspired me to become a YouTube critic." Oh, that's really nice. Thank you very much for that. Khan says, "Hey Eric, I'm currently watching The Boys season 4. I know your binge watch of season 4 of The Boys will take a little longer than usual. So unusual. So I would love to hear your thoughts on it. I'm actually not going to do a binge watch on The Boys season 4. I've still not seen it. The Boys is actually something I said that I like to watch without connecting YouTube to it. So I'll give you guys my thoughts when I finished watching it. But in terms of doing it, I like to just watch it as I do without feeling the need that I've got to take notes and review this later. The Boys is the one show I like to just disconnect and just enjoy without feeling like I have to analyze, if you know what I mean. So I haven't watched it yet because I'm just so busy, but I will at some point. And when I do, I'll let you guys know what I think. It's 4 a.m. in India. It's 11:38 p.m. here. Jess has done a $10 donation. Thank you very much, Jess. Hey Eric, Transformers 2007 has something that Rise of the Apes don't have, like strong weapons, chaotic action, and better jokes. Um, Godzilla and Dawn has Gary Oldman and Bryan Cranston because looks similar. Godzilla and Dawn of Planet of the Apes are two completely different movies, and I think Dawn is far better than the Godzilla movie. I actually thought the jokes were better in Dawn whenever there were humor bits and jokes in there. I thought they were actually better. But Transformers 2007 had good jokes in it as well. I really enjoyed the humor in Transformers 2007, the first one. There was a couple that went over the top and weren't so great, and some that haven't aged as well. But a lot of them were. I still remember enjoying them, especially from Bumblebee, as always. I agree with you, Sarah. Amazing World of Gumball did deserve a movie, but David Zaslav tax righted it off or whatever, and they've cancelled it now, which is so unfortunate. Okay, let's see what else is happening. Is there another? I feel like there's another super chat and I missed it. I didn't miss anyone's super chat, did I? I think it looks like I've got them all. Yeah, I've got them all. Yeah. Uh, Classic Brickman says, "Will you ever watch Cars 2 and 3 then do a versus video? Only if you pay me. I wouldn't do it otherwise." Did Jake show up? No, Jake has not shown up. Uh, it does always feel empty whenever you guys are when some of you guys are not here. Like I always miss all of you. It's always cool if everyone in an ideal world could join the stream at once. But you know, people are usually busy, so it can't always happen. Okay, let's see. Who said they sent me something? King of the Monster says I just sent a Streamlabs to you. Okay, then let's take a look at it. It's hard to catch a Streamlabs because usually I do Streamlabs. Usually I always do Streamlabs when on my phone I look at them, but because I'm using my phone to live stream now, I can't do it. Big Bash, of course, it's empty when you don't watch. It's empty when all of you don't watch. You know, there's a feeling of emptiness, like, oh, I missed that person. Like Adam Grunther has not shown up the last couple times. But yeah, no, I always miss all of you. My iPad, it's somewhere else, but I haven't got Streamlabs loaded up on that. So yeah, let's see. Okay, King of the Monsters 2021 has done a £1 super chat. Sarah, you've done a $6 super chat. Thank you very much again. Seriously, Sarah is like getting right up there in terms of these these donations. Sarah, you are getting right up there. Really, you are. She says, "How do you feel about video game movies? I have mixed feelings about them. I have mixed feelings about them too. There are times where video game movies are great, but then there are other times where they're not. And if you look at the new Borderlands movie that came out recently, that's a prime example of a very old-fashioned video game movie where it just didn't care about the source material. So yeah, I do think they can be good, and I think they are getting better, but it's not as good when they fall back like Borderlands did. All right, so let's see. What did King of the Monsters ask? He goes, Eric, let's play a little game. For every politician you can name in the Donald Trump and the GOP poster without Googling, I'll give €1. Live viewers can help, and Trump don't count. HD versions of those other people are right here. Okay. Oh, these are the ones you're saying are the HD versions of them. Okay, so you want me to... For every politician you can name in the Donald Trump and the GOP poster. Oh, and the Grand Old Party poster. Oh, right. You're talking about that. Well, we'll see. The Time Shadow says, I've decided that I'm going to save all my Super Chat donations until the last few minutes so we can hold you hostage again like we did last week. You want to try to do that again? You do know that it's probably faster for me to end a live stream on my phone than it is on Streamlabs. Where I usually do all my goodbyes and everything. I don't know. Like, good luck to you. We'll see if I think I might catch on faster this time. Who knows? Okay, now I'm nervous. The G Gamer says reactions. If someone commissioned a Cars 3-way versus video, well, then you would see it on the live stream, the reaction, wouldn't you? Let's see. Where are you? King of the Monsters. I don't think I can name them right now, to be perfectly honest with you. I've got brain fog. I think it is to do with long COVID. And you guys have seen me struggle mentioning names of actors and characters sometimes. Once I completely forgot how to say Lobo. You know, so I'm gonna politely pass on that, and I'll let you save your euros in that case. But yeah, I'm sorry, buddy, but I've got brain fog. Oof. And I don't yeah, you can just tell sometimes I just lose my train of thought. I'm not gonna do that. I want to answer people's questions, and it is trickier to answer people's questions on this because I only get like 5 at a time, if that. So yeah, Sarah, you are at it again. Oh, let's give you a heart on that one. Thank you very much, Sarah. Seriously, I do not ever expect these, but when you do them, it always means a lot. Like I said, it always helps support the channel and everything, and you certainly helped support it last time. So did the Time Shadow and everyone else who donated, like Jake last week, and you are a big help as well. So thank you very much, Sarah. I really appreciate it, really. She says, so Sarah says with her super chat, do you have a video game you'd like to see as a movie? I think it would be cool to see a BioShock movie. If done well, That could be really cool, like show more for the story and history of Rapture. BioShock, yeah, that would be a cool one. Video game movie. Uh, I would have liked to have seen Uncharted because do you remember that Nathan Fillion? He and someone else did a short film of Uncharted where they were basically like saying he was Nathan Drake and so on. I honestly would have liked it if Nathan Fillion played Nathan Drake and they made a great Uncharted movie. I would have liked to see that. But instead they put Tom Holland in it, which is why I was so annoyed when they cast him because that's the very epitome of miscasting. Big Bash says, Eric, you're the man. Tyler says, Eric, I got my GCSE results Tuesday this week and I got an A plus in English. I think a lot of this is down to the fact my vocabulary and movie analysis are heavily derived from your content. Thank you. Oh, wow, you're very welcome. I actually would have liked to have screenshotted that image, but I don't know if pressing these buttons will just stop the live stream on my phone, so I'm not going to do it. Oh, but thank you, bud. That really means a lot. I hear a lot of people say they like the way I describe, the points in movies and how I break them down. So that means a lot that helps you. I never thought that would. So thank you very much for that. Oh, it's such a shame I can't take an image of this. I would actually take an image of that comment. That's such a nice comment. Kevin has done a $2 super chat. And he says, how come the Hulk never gets his own sequels? Because that's what me and my brother used to ask back in the day. We said, how come with the 2003 Hulk and then the 2008 Hulk, it's always Bruce Banner running away from the military, and then in the end he escapes, and that's it. It's like they don't know what movies to make of the Hulk after that. It's like they say, all right, what do we do after that? I don't know. What story is there next? It's a shame. I would have liked to have seen a story continue in that regard, but we never quite got it, even with Mark Ruffalo's version. King of the Monster says, for me, Lethal Company would be amazing for a video game horror movie. Eric, you know of Lethal Company? I actually don't know of Lethal Company. Yeah, I've never heard of that one, to be honest. Big Bash says miscast. I'm assuming you're talking about Tom Holland. Yeah, he was definitely miscast. King Alex Ruler says Sarah is the best. She is very much the best. She's only been here for 2 streams, yet she feels like she's been here for all of them. Tyler says, thank you, Eric. I owe it all to you. Oh, again, that's very nice. Thank you. Well, you're welcome, Tyler, and thank you. Khan says, maybe the Planet Hulk storyline they could have done. I feel like Planet Hulk would have happened a while later, not straight away. Oops, Sarah is doing it again so quickly. It's like, let's see. She's done a $6 super chat. So Sarah says, Among Us is getting a TV show. Let that sink in anyway. So Eric, what's your favorite movie genre? More than one answer is welcome. That's a very good question. Let's see. I like a variety of movies. I've never really quite bowed it down to like just one genre. But I'd say action genre, like action thriller. Action thriller, let's put it that way. I think action thriller is usually my favorite. So I like psychological thrillers and things like that. But I don't like all psychological thrillers because you get some that just try to be very very muddy and very like dreary and very dark. I like that stuff, but it doesn't mean I like it in everything. So some movies will try to do it, and I'm like, I think just because it's like, yeah, you try to go for a very disturbing movie, but that's not my favorite kind of thriller. My favorite kind of thriller is more like what we got in, say, Speed, or what we got in Nolan's movies, where his are quite like very much thrillers. Stuff like that. Those are the kinds that I really like and enjoy. Very good question, Sarah. The G Gamer says, have you played any Borderlands games? No, I haven't, but I have a PS Vita, and I always wanted to get Borderlands 2 for the PS Vita, but I never ended up getting it because I think the price never got down quite low enough, especially when I was younger at the time. But I'm aware of Borderlands, but I'm sad. It's one of my regrets that I didn't play it. But Borderlands 2 and the PS Vita looked great, and yeah, I never got to play it. Jess says, Eric, do you find Gary Oldman and Bryan Cranston? Jess, are you doing this on purpose? You're writing Gary Oldman's name as Gary Oldman, It's like, are you doing that on purpose or is that just a typo? Anyway, Eric, do you find Gary Oldman and Bryan Cranston similar because these are the only human characters you like while the others are boring? Hmm. Um, if you're talking about in their movies like Dawn of the Planet of the Apes and Godzilla, Bryan Cranston was like the only good character in there because he's the only one that wasn't acting dull and was interesting and was acting his heart out, whereas everyone else was so dull. And as for Gary Oldman, I thought the characters were good in Planet of the Apes. I just didn't like the main guy. I didn't like the rest of the humans. I thought they were fine, but it's the main guy that Caesar was opposite of, that Malcolm. Him I was not a fan of. I thought he was the most boring anytime he came on screen. One Diamond Shine says, "What is your favorite MCU movie that isn't directed by the Russo brothers?" Oh, that's a good question. That is. It'd probably be the first Iron Man. The first Iron Man, I'd say. And then it would be Captain America, the first Captain America, because I didn't like that movie when it came out back in the day. I thought it was boring. So did some friends of mine. A lot of people thought it was boring. But when you watch all the other movies, then you go back to it, you really appreciate it. Part of the reason I thought the first Captain America was boring is because I was like, none of this matters. We know that Captain America is going to have to somehow go to the future so he can be with the Avengers. So we're not going to see Peggy. We're not going to see Bucky. We're not going to see Red Skull. We're not going to see that Tesseract thing that they're using. None of it matters, is what I thought. Avengers said, no, the Tesseract does matter. And I was like, okay, that's cool, but it's not, still doesn't fix the movie for me. And then when you see Peggy and Winter Soldier, and then she dies in Civil War, and then you see Bucky and Winter Soldier, and Civil War, and Infinity War, and Endgame, and all that stuff, it really made the first movie feel like there's a lot more value to it now when you go back to it. And I really do like that first movie now. G Game has done a very good question. Says, "What is your favorite video that you made ever?" It used to be. That's a very good question. It used to be my first ever favorite video that I did. I think, if I remember correctly, was my Injustice Gods Among Us PS Vita. No, it was actually before that. It was my Spider-Man Edge of Time 3DS review. That took me a month to make. It's a very old video if you look it up. And yeah, I made that, and it was one of my first big editing projects I uploaded on YouTube. And yeah, I loved that video. And then after that, my second favorite, well, my first new favorite then was Injustice 1, Gods Among Us, uh, uh, PS Vita review. When I reviewed it on the PS Vita, that was then my favorite. And I think I also reviewed the Mortal Kombat game for PS Vita as well, and I loved that as well. Sarah says, my friend and I watched Borderlands. He's a big fan and he hated the movie so much. As a person who hasn't played Borderlands, yes, the movie was bad. I didn't hate it as much. It just, I don't know, it was bad. Yeah, it looks like it was bad. I've not seen it myself, but everyone does say it is bad. So yeah. Adam says, hey, Eric, what's the best film you've seen at the cinema this year? Ah, that's a good question. What has come out this year? I must have my tickets here with me. I keep my tickets, I do. I always collect them. So let's see. Quiet Play. Oh, not Black Adam. I still got my Black Adam ticket. Ghost, but no. Abigail. Well, Abigail was fun. Best movie I've seen in the cinema this year would probably be A Quiet Place Day One. I feel like I might have seen more, but they're not coming to me. What other movies have come out this year? Let me know, guys, because I feel like I've forgotten. Let's see. Bad Boys 4, I've not seen it. Furiosa, I've not seen that. Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, I've seen that. Not a great movie. Dune 2, I've still not seen Dune. I need to see Dune. I'm annoyed with myself that it's taken me this long. Like I said, I'm waiting for a friend to get the 4K and I can borrow it from him. I haven't heard from him since, so... Pop Culture Fan says, a good sign of a sequel if it makes the previous movie better. Exactly. I've said that plenty of times before. And yeah, that's exactly what those movies did for what they did for Captain America. Sarah is at it again, showing no signs of stopping. $6 super chat. Thank you, Sarah, really, very much. I really appreciate your generosity here. Damn it, I messed up my hair. Yeah, okay. Okay, then Sarah says, what do you think of Shawshank Redemption? It's the top-rated movie on IMDb. Also, what do you think of IMDb, Rotten Tomatoes, etc.? Well, Shawshank Redemption is still a movie I need to see. It's on my watch list, but I've not seen it yet. And the top rate, yeah, I've heard it's the top rated movie on IMDb. And what do I think of IMDb and Rotten Tomatoes? Well, Rotten Tomatoes is they've gotten weird. It's like they've taken away like their anticipated thing on the website when people were mass downvoting Captain Marvel because they weren't anticipating it. And then they've I know that it feels like they've definitely rigged the reviews. They were caught for that little scandal that happened where a movie was where some critics were paid to basically give a positive review on a movie, and we all know how that turned out. That did not turn out particularly well. Um, but yeah, I don't trust Rotten Tomatoes. There's times where you try to just get an overview with their ratings, but I don't trust them. So yeah, they are the ones that I really don't trust. IMDb, I have trusted. They have tried to remove certain ratings from reviews, but I feel like they usually whatever my thoughts are on a movie, the IMDb score is kind of essentially what I think of a movie, or puts the movie into perspective. Where I'm like, okay, if it's got that rating, it might be. I know it'll be worth my time, or it will not be worth my time. I usually tend to trust IMDb in that regard more than Rotten Tomatoes. Okay, what's the most overrated movie in your opinion, Eric? Says Big Bash. I will say that Turtles, Mutants in Manhattan, probably. Or was it Mutant Mayhem? Mutant Mayhem, Mutants in Manhattan, I think was a game. Yeah, you guys know I wasn't really a fan of that movie for reasons I explained. But I also didn't like the first Cars, and I said that was the most overrated movie. The Time Shadow says, the first video I saw of yours was your Spider-Man versus the Amazing Spider-Man 1 versus Homecoming video. Didn't see it when you uploaded it. It just got recommended to me on YouTube a couple of years ago. Oh, wow. Well, thanks for clicking it, and thanks for watching my channel consistently since then. I really appreciate that. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Let me tell you, those three-way Spider-Man versus videos, I think they were my first three-way versus videos I was making. And they took a long, long time to make, especially that second one. Was the second one? Yeah, that took me a long time to make, and a lot of copyright claims that I had to sort of like manage. Jess says, no, Eric, you're wrong. Kingdom is the best. If you enjoy it as the best, that's great. My mum and dad watched it recently, and my mum fell asleep, and my dad thought, I haven't asked him, but from what my mum says, she says that he thought it was slow. I need to ask him what he thinks. Does that mean that he thought it was all bad or what? I need to ask him. Sarah has done a $6 super chat again. And she says, Big Bash mentioned Breaking Bad. That's rated the #1 show on IMDb. Thoughts? I've seen Breaking Bad, and I remember a lot of people were saying how great it was, and from a certain point, when I think it was Kristen Ritter's character, when she chokes on her own vomit, they said that I heard one reviewer say that from that point on, the show is like non-stop, like it keeps going. But that was what I thought turned out not to be true. I thought the show was constantly stopping and starting, stopping and starting. It never really found its pacing where it felt like it's being consistent, except for maybe the final season when everything goes to heck. That was quite sad to watch, I remember. I like the show, but I wish it was more consistent with its pacing. #1 show on IMDb, that I do not agree with. Tyler Edwards says, I think Breaking Bad is the best TV series out there. Jessica Jones is second for me. I think Daredevil is better than Jessica Jones, the Daredevil show, especially season 3. King of the Monsters done another Streamlabs. Okay, let's take a look. Let's refresh. And has done another $1, £1 Streamlab. He goes, all right, first of all, I just screenshotted the message for you. Oh, really? Oh, thank you very much for that, King of the Monsters. I appreciate that. If you're screenshot the message, I think you're screenshot. Let me quickly take a look. Let's mark that and take a look. You see what's going on with my internet? This is what was causing the live streams to slow down so much. Do you see how slow that was loading? Look at it. So if I was doing the live stream on my computer, we would still be getting this slow connection. I don't know what's going on. Let's see. Yes, there's Tyler Edwards' message right there. Thank you very much, King of the Monsters. I appreciate that's very so nice of you. I really appreciate that. Yeah, so this is how you guys are seeing my live stream. Interesting. Oh, that makes me feel good. Thank you for that. Let's read the rest of your message now. Let's see. Secondly, my question is, which Godzilla movie that you've seen has had the best visual effects in your opinion? Images for basis. Let's take a look. what the image is. Thanks so much for that, buddy. I really do appreciate this image. Again, you see how slow this all is? Are you guys seeing this? Oh, Sarah, I just spotted your super chat. Bear with me. Look at what he's done. He's got images of these Godzilla movies showing the different versions. And then he's got this one where Eric has not watched yet. That's Shin Godzilla, which, yeah, I still haven't seen. I want to, though. And I still not got to see yet. So, yeah. Yeah. Anyway, so let's see. Your question was essentially about the movie that you've seen has the best visual effects in your opinion. Movie that has the best visual effects, I'd say, is Godzilla versus Kong. But after that, I'd say it's King of the Monsters. Here, Godzilla versus Kong. Then I would say King of the Monsters, and then I would say -1. -1 had amazing effects, but of course, when you compare it to the millions that the others had an advantage. But I still love the effects in Godzilla -1. Let's see. Oh, there we go. Maybe that looks. Yeah, probably that one. Let's just leave it as it is. And let's get Trump off my screen. All right, so Sarah has done another $6 super chat. And she says, is Titanic worth the watch? I haven't watched it, and my dad keeps trying to make me watch it. I've heard mixed reviews. I'd actually think it is worth a watch. I really enjoyed it. In fact, I haven't seen it in so many years. Me and my brother, I think I mentioned this on a live stream, one of the early live streams. Me and my brother, we went to go see it in theaters because they re-released it, I think, in 4K. My younger brother, he had never seen it before. And me, I had not seen it in so many years. So I thought, okay, let's go see that. It'd be fun to go. My brothers and sisters have watched movies that we've already owned in theaters when they got re-released, like Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. I didn't do that, but they did. And I thought, let's try it out. Let's try out watching a movie that we own and see what it's like watching it in the theater. So yeah, we both went, really enjoyed it. There was an idiot behind me though, where he was talking to his wife the whole time. He seemed like he's a foreign guy and he's speaking in broken English. And when I told him about around the point where Leonardo DiCaprio was in that restaurant and he says to Kathy Bates, like, where do I start with these knife and forks? Around that point, I turned around and said to the guy, could you please keep it down? We're trying to watch. And then he takes his glasses off. He goes, go, watch the movie. Watch the movie. I'm talking to my wife. And then, yeah, my brother even, I said, yeah, but could you please just keep it down? And then he says, you don't tell me what to do and stuff like that. And I was like, this is why I hate going to the theater to watch movies. I don't know, if he wanted to talk to his wife, then piss off and talk to her elsewhere. But you don't talk out loud, and he's one row behind me, like behind me. And my brother, who had not seen the movie, he went through that as well, and it bothered both of us. Do you know how Dr. Evil always has those buttons that he presses in Austin Powers? He presses those buttons, and people are sitting in on those chairs. They fall under like a lavery, fiery pit. That's what I feel like doing sometimes in the cinema when you have those really inconsiderate people. I feel like just pressing a button and just sending them downwards into some kind of pit, or just sending them to their cars. But yeah. But anyway, Sarah, yes, it is a very, very good movie. I would recommend watching it. It is a very emotional movie too. It's quite a beautiful one. It's from James Cameron. I was too young to kind of like realize that there was this whole boys versus girls thing going on against that movie. I didn't realize it was very much a chick flick, and a lot of women went to go see it. I just watched it as just a movie. Not knowing any of that stuff. I didn't have any sisters or girlfriends or anyone, any female friend or anyone saying, take me, go see it, take me, go see it. Because I was only 2, I think, when it came out. It came out in 97, wasn't it? So, yeah, Sarah, I would recommend you watch it because I'm not really into rom-coms and everything. So the fact that I liked it, even though I'm not really a fan of rom-coms, says a lot. And the music in that was brilliant. It was really good. Time Shadow says, did you ever watch Alvin and the Chipmunks growing up? I was around when my brothers and sisters were watching it, but no, I didn't really sit to watch it. Maybe the first one, I think, and then a little bit of the second one. Wow, that's actually very good. Skyzer Wilhelm says, I'd love to see what the team of -1 can do with 100 million pounds. I think you mean $100 million. Yes, I would love to see that too. Big Bash says -1 to me beats any Marvel movie. It pretty much does. Big Bash also says Titanic is overrated in my opinion. You're probably right, but for me, I've liked it as about as much as you can. I think I gave it a 9 or a 10, I think. It's a genuinely good movie. I really do like it. King Alex Ruler says Sarah seriously gets a thumbs up. Jess, hold on. I'll do that in a bit. King of the Monster, I said I never had a girlfriend who asked me to go take her to see it, is what I said. The Time Shadow says, Eric, did you go to see Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 1 in the cinema a few weeks ago when they re-released it? I didn't. My brother was actually going to, but then he decided not to because it's just a waste of time because he's seen it and we've got it home. Although I do wonder, because on the Dolby Atmos one, apparently they've changed the sound effects that happens when Willem Dafoe at the end goes, oh, right before he gets stabbed by the glider. I wonder if they put that one on in the theater or they put the previous original one on in the theater. Matthew Club says, Eric, what's with the screen? Well, basically, there was a problem with the internet and the live stream kept cutting out. So I'm literally doing this live stream on my phone. I'm doing it that way. So yeah, well, having to do the stream this way. So I'm pointing the camera at my monitor so you can see me kind of like how you normally do. And I wish I could have put the phone in landscape, but for some reason it's not doing that. So it doesn't let me. So that's why there's something up. It's either this or no stream at all today. So I thought I'd just do a Q&A and save the stories for next week's live stream. Titanic had nudity in it. Why in a PG-13 film it had to be rated R? I'm confused too, because PG-13 actually has more leeway, but in the UK we have a 12 rating. I'm surprised that they let the nudity pass in a 12. That was unheard of. So I remember watching it when I was younger. I was like, okay, they're going to smartly cover up, the chest of Rose, aren't they? And then they didn't, and they showed it, and I was like, wait, what? We're not supposed to be like as a kid. I was like, I'm not supposed to be seeing this. And yeah, we did look away. I remember. Skyzer, you are 100% right. Rest in peace, James Horner. Yeah, James Horner did a phenomenal job with the soundtrack to this to Titanic. He really did. $15 million is impressive for Godzilla -1. Big Bash says, what do you think of Walter White? Good character, but he's the one character that messes things up for everyone. He messes it up for the good guys, for his family, for his brother-in-law, for people around the city. He also messes things up for the bad guys. He literally causes destruction to anyone he meets. So yeah, I kind of felt like he was a problem. Time Shadow says, did that happen to anyone else just there? Did what happen to anyone else just there? Let me see. Where is audience? No, community. Here it is. I'm on my Patreon right now. Jess wanted to show me something from the chat. Let's hope it's all... See how long it's taking to load this up. There's something up with the Wi-Fi or with my computer for not registering the Wi-Fi. Oh, okay. Nostalgia Critic screams at Eric for his glitchy stream. Yeah, you can see me. I look like in that freeze frame, I look low. Like, this is depressing. It kind of is, you know. I really do think. Khan says, okay then, Eric, I think I'm going to be done for the day. You guys have fun out there in the Q&A. I'm definitely really disappointed how we didn't talk about the stories, but I know there is next Sundays. Yeah, I'm sorry too, buddy. I really, really am. I am sorry about that. It's something I wish could be avoided. I restarted my computer twice to fix it. It didn't fix it, so hopefully next week it'll get resolved. I don't know how. I don't know if this means my computer has to go in for repair. Hopefully it doesn't. But we'll have to see what can be done. I don't know. I'll see. Hopefully next week things will be back up and running as usual, hopefully. But thanks for joining the stream, buddy. And as always, thank you for always putting in time codes for all these streams that I do. I really do appreciate it. And it is sad. I really do wish I could give you guys these stories. But there's nothing I can do about it, unfortunately. We have these technical problems do happen. It's a Mac King of the Monsters. It's not a Windows computer. Uh, yeah. Yeah, it really is a shame. So, but anyway, thank you for still joining me for as long as you did. We're an hour in and you still join me, so I appreciate that. Thank you very much, Khan. And hopefully things will go back to normal again this week when we get back to the streams and everything. So, thanks, Khan, and I hope I'll catch you again next time. Take care, buddy. The G Gamer says, I guess I'll ask if we can't get the story for today. What are your thoughts on The Acolyte? I haven't seen it. The Acolyte is an absolutely terrible show. I watched it because I was actually going to make a video on it, which I still might do, where I review the whole show and I binge watch it. And by the way, just quickly, I'm going to say to Jess, that was very funny. So that was good, very good. Um, yeah, but yeah, it was a terrible show. Bad writing all around. The first two episodes were watchable. Episode 3 got bad. Imperial Edit says, "Yo, Eric, I'm back. I always look forward to your videos." Yeah, I don't know if you know what happened, Imperial Edits, but the live stream I was going through technical problems with the internet, it kept dropping out. So that's why I've now done the stream on my phone, which is what you're seeing right now, and you're seeing my screen right here. So that's what's going on. G Gamer, no, I think it was worse than Echo. The Acolyte show was worse than Echo, I think. Which Robin says, which obscure superhero or villain would you want to see get their own movie? Not so much obscure, but I do say I would like to see the Punisher again in a movie. But we'll see what they do. Big Bash has the Acolyte, more like the Cancelite. Yep. Samantha says, what's your favorite and least favorite Star Wars film and Harry Potter film? My favorite Harry Potter film is Harry Potter 3. My favorite Star Wars film is Episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back. And my least favorite Star Wars film is The Last Jedi. And my least favorite Harry Potter film is Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. Pop Culture Fan says The Acolyte is Star Wars Eternals. The only difference is, in my opinion, the Eternals is enjoyable and the Acolyte's mediocre. I think the Acolyte was less than mediocre. It was just bad. Yeah. I wonder, is Sarah still on the stream? She's gone oddly quiet, like no comments or anything. Gary Loke says The Acolyte is a 2 out of 10. I only liked Saul Kimmer and the lightsaber fights. I thought Saul was a good character until what they did to him later, where they sabotaged him completely. The Jedi are so freaking evil. Like, so freaking evil. I don't like what they did. That was disrespectful. Like, that's what villains do. Like, it's like they don't get Star Wars at all in that show, especially what they did at the end. Then they tried to bring Yoda into it, which would have just made things worse. Really bad. Oh, there Sarah is. I thought Sarah wasn't in the stream anymore. I actually thought she had gone. Sarah says, what character from any movie or TV show did you relate to the most? And what movie has the most creative plot in your opinion? I really like how you're respectful to everyone's opinion. Many critics lack that. Anyway, I gotta go. Bye. Oh, you're not gonna stick around. Oh, that's sad to see. Thank you for joining though, Sarah. I really appreciate that. So let's see. What character from any movie or TV show did you relate to the most? Let me answer your second question when you said what movie has the most creative plot in your opinion. The movie that has the most creative plot, in my opinion, was The Dark Knight. The Dark Knight had so much stuff going on in this plot. Every minute counted. And the fact that it was able to manage to like put all of that in a 2.5 hour runtime, including credits, was a masterclass. It really was. So much moving parts, so many characters, all of them are memorable, so many different plot points and subplots, and yet they all managed to, by the end of the movie, like all come together and make sense. That is a miracle movie. You don't get movies like that very often. So I would say that movie has the most creative plot, in my opinion. And in terms of you be liking how I'm respectful of other people's opinions, I'm glad. This is supposed to be a safe space, this YouTube channel. No matter how out there your opinions are of movies, this is meant to be a very safe space. And in terms of what movie or TV show did you relate to the most in terms of the character? I would say this is going to sound a bit bizarre, but I would say Deadpool in the first Deadpool movie. Not because of all the jokes he makes, and I'm not a mercenary either. I'm not a jokester like him. But when he tried to come back to see his wife after he had his transformation and he went, like ugly Deadpool, that kind of look, there was a point where he looked at, he was afraid of how people would see him, people on the street. He was afraid how his wife would see him, or his girlfriend at the time. But then again, he did propose to her, so let's just say wife. Yeah, I understood that immediately because when I was younger, I had eczema and my face was shredded. I was afraid to even look directly at people. I would look down and try not to look at them. I tried to speak to them without looking at them. Just felt like I was so insecure. Not only so insecure, I was just sad. I was like, I don't like how my face feels like this. I can smell the eczema on me. My face is shredded. I look horrible. And I don't want people to look at me directly. It's like I couldn't look them in the eyes. And when Deadpool did that, I instantly got that. Some people would say, oh, that's a weak point. If you've had a skin condition that really messed up your face, like I did when I was younger, it instantly connected with me. It really did. So in terms of movie, I would say Deadpool, believe it or not. I'm sure there must be another one out there, but I can't think of it right now. That's the one that comes to my mind. In terms of TV show, I always used to I found myself relating to Leonardo in the 2003 Ninja Turtles cartoon I grew up with. He was always the responsible one, and he was the eldest of all his siblings, and he's the one that Splinter looked towards as being the one in charge, in the leader, which is kind of how things are with me and my family, because I'm the eldest of five siblings, and I was the one they would always look at to be in charge as we were growing up. So I always related to Leonardo. So fantastic question, Sarah. Those are the two questions. Those are the two characters I relate to in both movie and TV show. That was a really good question, Sarah. You really do ask these great questions that make me uh, give these more in-depth answers, Sarah. Sarah said, I need to go to sleep. Got school in the morning. Okay, take care, Sarah. Thank you for joining the stream. I really appreciate it. Thanks for all those donations, Sarah. I really appreciate that too. No, Big Bash, I was the oldest of five, so there was five of us, not six of us. But yeah, five is still a lot. Not a lot compared to some other families. Like other families have had like 9 kids in them as well. Yeah, goodbye, Sarah. Thank you very much for your question and for your super chats. I hope you have a great day at school tomorrow. No problem, Sarah. And you are very kind for calling this an awesome stream. I'm trying my best to make it still entertaining and fun, but I know this is not really quite an awesome stream given the circumstances. But hopefully next week will be better. Hopefully. Robin says, do you have a favorite character from regular show? Yeah, my favorite character from regular show is Muscle Man. Big Bash has amazing stream, Eric. Okay, I'm glad that you guys are enjoying it. This is really trying to just make do, but I'm glad you guys are enjoying it, even as we are making do. Oh, that is true. Sarah says I got to ask a bunch of questions. I'm actually quite surprised how I'm able to keep on top of these questions, given how very few questions I can see at once on my phone. Sarah says, in my book, that's an awesome stream. Oh, well, you've uplifted my spirits. I felt a little bit low or a bit guilty for doing a stream like this, but the fact that you enjoyed it still, that really means a lot. Thank you very much, Sarah. Good night. Hope you have a great sleep. After this, I'm going to do some editing, then I'm going to go to sleep as well. So thanks. Thanks again for the donations, and have a great day at school tomorrow. And thanks for your really lovely comments. I appreciate that. Parker CS2 says Avengers having fourth wall jokes would kill the movie. Well, She-Hulk did that, and it kind of killed that show, didn't it? Although that show was already dead before she broke the fourth wall. Saeed says you can be critical of the MCU and not a complete jerk or toxic about it. I agree. Although I hope you're not saying that as accusatory, saying to me you can criticize it but not be a jerk about it. Oh, Big Bash, you drew more Ben 10 art. Oh, cool. Be sure to send it to me again when you do. Classic Brickman says, I'm still really liking the stream. Oh, that's good then. I'm glad you guys are still enjoying it. Tyler Edwards says, this stream is probably the best stream I've watched since your last one, at least. Oh, really? Oh, wow. Okay, I'm genuinely surprised by that. I'm glad you guys are enjoying it then, because I just felt guilty doing it this way. Like I was trying my best, but at the same time I felt this feeling of guilt. But yeah, you could just can't predict technology. Technology, for as good as technology is, it still sucks because it has so many like basic problems that there shouldn't be. Saeed says, I'm not saying to you, Eric, you are not negative about the MCU, just critical, and I mostly agree with it. Okay, that's what I try to do, so I'm glad. Um, the G Gamer says, what do you think Disney, why do you think Disney over budget their movies? Is it inflation or something? Inflation is part of it, but then it's also because I think they got very cocky because there was a point where Disney were making $1 billion for every movie they were making at the time. And I think they got very overconfident and said, all right, we're going to keep budgeting our movies this way because big budgets seem to bring people in. But then when people were not coming in, they were still using the big budgets, hoping it would bring people in, but it didn't. So that's why I think they did that. Parker, I don't think I saw your reboot comment. Uh, I saw your fourth wall, Avengers having fourth wall comment. Let's see. Hey, Eric, this might be it. Hey, Eric, don't you agree Marvel needs a hard reboot? The MCU we've had since 2008 doesn't need to go on forever. Also, we need a clean slate since there's too much to keep up with. I do agree, but I think they should have moved straight onto the X-Men. Is what they should have done after the MCU. But they weren't doing that. The X-Men and the Fantastic Four is what they should have done. Tyler Edwards says, I really don't get Disney. They're putting hundreds of millions of dollars into movies that have zero hopes of bringing that money back in. Exactly, but that's why they're now going to try to reduce the budgets. Big Bash says, Eric, I sent the new art I made. Thing is, if you send it to me on Instagram, I can't show it on the screen here because I only have Instagram on my phone. Classic Brickman says, please see this comment. Saddest movie or TV show death? Saddest movie death, I think, is Logan. And saddest TV show death, uh, they're not coming to me right now. Saddest TV show death would probably be. I did watch Young Sheldon recently, and the death that I thought was really sad was the death of the father and how everyone was reacting to it. That actually would hit me close to home in some ways. So I would say probably that. That's the one I can think of right now. Skyzer Wilhelm says, I really hope that Fantastic Four film is good. The Fantastic Four is my favorite superhero team in Marvel Comics. I hope this time they've cracked the code. I hope so, but at the same time, they got a female Silver Surfer. That shows, in a way, one thing that they are. Big Bash says once, yeah, basically, I don't think they're going to be 100% like moving onto the right track with that move, is what I'm basically trying to say. Big Bash says, once you're done with the stream, you can check out the art I sent. Okay, that's cool. I thought you wanted me to show it on screen, which I wouldn't be able to do because, like I said, Instagram is on my phone when I check that stuff out. Parker says, Eric, the Clone Wars 2008 was my childhood. Disney has made me so cynical towards Star Wars to the point where my nostalgia is withered. Yeah, it is a shame when that happens. But for me, it won't properly wither. I still love the Clone Wars, the old one, and the one that Dave Filoni and George Lucas did. So, yeah. For me, it's not that bad. I can still enjoy the stuff from the past. Nothing can really stop that. Parker, you're looking forward to my Romulus review? That's great. It should be up a couple hours after the stream, hopefully. Unless I'm too tired to do it, then it'll be up the next day. Let's see. Eric, Samantha says, Eric, what's your favorite movie of all time? My favorite movie of all time is The Dark Knight. I'm surprised I even had to think about that for a second there. Like I said, brain fog. I don't know why I've got that. Gary Loke says, Osha's decision at the end of Acolyte made no sense. All her decisions made no sense, especially is Osha the sister. You know, the evil sister. Or was that May? Nothing May. Osha, what she did made no sense, but what May did made even less sense throughout the entire show. Like she wanted to hand herself in and then she was fighting the people that could have arrested her, even though she was going to give herself in. It was just so stupid. King of the Monster says, isn't it the Dark Knight? Yep, called it. You did indeed. Nate says, I did not see Acolyte, but I liked your video, the most dramatic haircut you'll ever see. Also, what's your least favorite movie? Nate, that is a pretty terrifying profile picture you got there. Let's see, um, my most, worst movie. I'm gonna say Cars because I really do not like Cars. I've got a bad memory of watching Cars in the cinema as well as a kid. Really, I do. Yeah. Parker CS says Alien 3, an emoji movie on my worst films ever. It's interesting you say Alien 3, Parker, because I have been looking at clips of aliens recently, like yesterday, for example. Really enjoy that. I do. I love that movie. That's one of my favorite movies. It's on my top 5 or top 10 list, Aliens. Yeah, pop culture fan. Every decision the characters make in The Acolyte are stupid decisions. They really, really are. Parker says Aliens is great. It is great. It's one of the movies I give a 10 out of 10. The Time Shadow says, do you think Cars is worse than Madam Web? I mean, I respect your opinion. I'm just surprised. Yeah, because the Cars I just found boring. So dull, so boring. At least with Madam Web, you can laugh at it. You know, it's laughably bad, so there's some enjoyment you can get. But Cars I just found incredibly dull. And my experience in the cinema of watching it is one of the worst experiences I've had. It was, my dad fell asleep for the first time when I was watching a movie with him, and I wanted to go see it because it said from the producer of The Incredibles. So I was convinced it was going to be a great movie, but then that's when I realized the hard lesson. Just because produced by someone that made a great movie doesn't mean anything. And I learned that lesson the hard way that time, and I was like, yep, I'm never going to fall for that again. Because that was literally what made me fall for it. Tyler Edwards says, apologies for constantly talking about Jessica Jones. I just think very highly of it, promoting female empowerment without it being shoved in your face. I think very highly of that too when it does something like that. But I thought Jessica Jones, the first season at least, was padded out with more episodes than they needed, which is the big problem to me. I think they could have done it great with 6 episodes, but they did it with 13, and I thought that was a lot. Cause versus Madam Web versus the Acolyte. Big Bash. I haven't got the energy for that one, buddy. I really don't. Pop culture fan says at least Cars didn't have a cringy dance scene on a table. I mean, could you imagine if Cars had that kind of scene, a dance scene on the table? They did Soul so dirty, says Samantha. They really did. Nate says, thanks for your opinion. I'm going to try to change my profile. I mean, it's up to you if you want to, but it does look pretty terrifying. Rohan says, which pandemic would you rather be stuck in? Zombie apocalypse or apocalypse full of apes? Apocalypse full of apes. Kevin says, because with apocalypse full of apes, at least I can potentially run into Caesar's son and he will leave me alone. I feel like there are more good apes than there are zombies. There are no good zombies, except if you're from warm bodies. Kevin, who's done a $2 donation. Thank you very much, Kevin. Says, did the first Jak and Daxter felt like Donkey Kong Country? I'm aware of Jak and Daxter. I played a bit on the PSP back in the old days, but I can't remember. I know Donkey Kong Country as well, but I can't remember the gameplay of Jak and Daxter. Jak and Daxter was more like Spyro, wasn't it? You know, I don't know if it's anything like Donkey Kong Country, which was 2.5D sprites essentially going in a left and right video game on a 2D plane. Venom 2 versus the Acolyte. Yeah, no. The less we say about that, the better, Big Bash. Lord of the Rings versus Harry Potter, says Classic Brickman. That sounds better. Parker CS2 says, did you see Yoda cancels the Acolyte from How It Should Have Ended? I didn't. That sounds fun, though. I'll give it a watch afterwards. Nate says, what do you think of Fortnite? Not my kind of game. I saw my friend play it. He gave me the controller. I didn't know where to go or what to do. But I like proper big budget games, you know, like AAA titles. I really enjoy those. That's what my collection really consists of. On my Steam Deck, though, I did recently play the Deadpool game and I completed it. It was not a long game, which is a shame. Africa sounds pretty good, Big Bash, but I like that they did it in the city. in the movies. I think they picked the best locations in those recent movies in Rise, Dawn, and War. Which is worse, Eric? Venom or Catwoman? Catwoman. Keanu Reeves dodged a bullet with the Acolyte. Did they say they were going to cast him or something? Is that what it is? Because I think I heard something right to that. That is ringing a bell or something. The G Gamer says, "What is the worst game you ever played?" Oh, I don't know, because when you play a terrible game, you don't tend to go back to it, or you don't finish it. So I don't know. What is the most terrible game I played? The Acolyte versus the Dark Knight. There is no way, Big Bash. What is Saeed saying that is being rude? No, I can't find it. But it's okay, everyone. Like I said, we're all friends here. Don't need to argue over anything. Let's see. I don't know what the worst game is. Like, I'm sorry, because if I play a worst game, I don't play it again. I just stop playing it. I'll take King Kong for the DS. I thought that was bloody awful. I actually paid for that game, and then we returned it, and I got, I think, Spider-Man 3 instead. Nate says, "What's going to be your next versus video?" I love your versus videos. It'll be Batman the Cape Crusader versus Batman the Animated Series Season 1. That will be the next versus video. Parker CS2 says, "Yes, Said, we are allowed to have our own opinions." Yeah, that's what I've always said with all of us. Although, one thing I was going to say about the Acolyte story, I was going to say that you should keep the hate coming with the Acolyte, and I never normally say that. The reason why is because apparently Disney right now, they do seem to want to get rid of the Acolyte, and they want to revert back to some good stuff. But they're getting peer pressure from the crowd they always love to please, which is the Twitter crowd. So I think right now what's kind of going on with a culture war is like Disney are thinking about moving onto the right track, but they're also thinking of, but we've been with this Twitter group audience for years now. Should we go back to them a bit? It's like an abusive relationship. So I think a lot of people should trash the Acolyte more. So Disney be like, yeah, we're not going to go back to the social media crowd, because it seems like there's some kind of battle in terms of a tug and pull for the Acolyte. And yeah, I would say one of the few times I'd say, yeah, let people hear more and more that you don't like the Acolyte. That way Disney will hear it and they'll say, yeah, we won't do it again. Allow shows or movies or projects like that again. So in this case, I'll say, yeah, let the hate flow through you just this once. Jess and Eric, best friends forever. I'm best friends with all of you. I love all of you. Parker CS says, "I bet it gets the Willow treatment." I bloody hope it does. That would be funny, wouldn't it? J Dog 11 says, "What do you think the new Golem?" The new Golem, what's that? What's the new Golem? My favorite Disney movie, Pure Heart. It will be Beauty and the Beast, the animated one. The Time Shadow says, Cars versus Morbius versus Madam Web versus She-Hulk versus the Star Wars sequels. Jess says, Eric, there's another photo that I posted to you on Patreon that everyone needs to see. Oh, Gollum movie. Okay. Yeah, there is a Gollum movie, isn't there? Oh boy, I don't look very good in this photo. Look at my internet. Do you see how it's not even loading up? There you go. Finally, took you ages. That's not a flattering picture of me, is it? Eric getting shocked at the FBI raid scene in Transformers more than Caesar attacking the guy in Rise is disgusting him very much. Yeah. Definitely something, bud. It's like you're trying to make memes of me. I've never seen people really do that very often, so that's kind of funny. Cars versus the Dark Knight. Alien 3 versus Dark Fate. Skyzer Wilhelm says a $180 million Star Wars show made by Harvey Weinstein's personal assistant should just never have been allowed to leave the drawing board. I agree. I wonder if she's I wonder if she'll get figured out. Like at some point they'll put something in the media to say, look at what she's done. Gary Loke said there's Acolyte fans petitioning to revive the Acolyte. I know, it's bloody ridiculous. Normally I like respect what people like, people like different things. But come on, the Acolyte has got such terrible writing. It feels like they wrote this show very quickly with all the mistakes, the problems, and the inconsistencies and the bad writing there is, and characters just flipping their motivations on a dime. Nate says a good versus video idea is Deadpool versus Deadpool 2 versus Deadpool and Wolverine. I was considering that before, but I didn't do it because I just didn't have passion to do that versus video really. So I was going to, but then I didn't. Tyler Edwards says I played through all of Alien Isolation. It's incredible. That game to me, if it was me, I would barely get out of my hiding spot. I wouldn't be doing much. And I haven't got time to play games that are that long, where it's all like on chance and everything. So yeah, for me, I wouldn't. I wouldn't play it. But I would have fun watching other people play it, like Angry Joe and his reactions. That was funny. Okay, guys, in 10 minutes, we'll end the stream. Okay, so if there's any questions or any super chats you have or Streamlabs chats or you want to ask me questions to get top of the pile, be sure to let me know. Oh, was it, Jess? That's a photo of your thumbnail of the Venom 3 trailer. Oh, wow. I forgot about that. Connor Pendlebury says, what is up, Eric? I don't think I'm going to see The Acolyte anytime soon, lol. Yeah, don't watch it. It's bad. I'm gonna do a video of it at some point, hopefully, if all goes to plan. And yeah, then you can just see my video on it. Oh, Brickman, it says it's been a nice stream, but I have to go. Oh, okay, see ya, Brickman. Thanks for joining the stream. Big Bash says 10 minutes, 20 more minutes later. Well, the last time I only stayed was when people kept inundating me with super chats, wasn't it? Yeah, that was the last time I kept staying. So I don't know. I feel like that was a one-off. I don't know. We'll see. But I don't know. I feel like if I was to end it now, I would know how to end it faster. So, but good luck to Time Shadow. Says he was apparently going to keep me on, but we'll see how he does. J Dog says, are you going to watch Beetlejuice, and do you think it'll be good? Yes, I will be watching Beetlejuice, and I will be doing a versus video with the first movie. I've don't know if it's going to be good because Tim Burton is very much on a rocky plane, isn't he? Lately, he's not been very good in terms of the movies he's been making, but we'll see how he does. This is supposed to go back. This is supposed to be going back to the good old days of Tim Burton's original creation, which was Beetlejuice. So if he can't do this well, there is something seriously wrong. Yeah, Ridley Scott has also missed lately. Some of the more questionable choices that were in that new Alien Romulus movie, turns out they were from Ridley Scott. So yeah. Worst director, in my opinion. Yes, I will be watching Joker 2, Skyzer. Worst director. There's a lot of bad directors. I was thinking of Tommy Wiseau, King of the Monsters, but I thought that would be too obvious. I'm trying to think of another director. What's the name of the director that made that Max Payne movie? He made Max Payne. He made Die Hard 5. I'd look it up, but I've got my computer screen showing you me, and I've got my phone here, so I can't do it. What was his name? Could someone look it up for me? The name of that director. Not Uwe Boll. I've not seen any of his movies to really, crap on, so I can't really say he's the worst. John Moore, was that what it was? King of the Monsters. All right then. Yeah, John Moore, the director of Die Hard 5 and Max Payne, awful director. Skyzer says, to me, it's M. Night Shyamalan. He put me off watching The Last Airbender for 14 years. Wow, I know what that's like. Because I remember that Ben 10 Race Against Time live action movie was so bad that it put a lot of us kids off of watching Ben 10. So yeah. Big Bash says, Eric, have you played GTA before? Yes, I have. In fact, oh, let's see. Can I find it? I've got a GTA game. I actually own one. I used to play a lot when I was younger. Oh, here it is. I think. Yeah. Grand Theft Auto Liberty City Stories. This was for the PSP. I used to play this back in the day. A lot. It was great with cheat codes, but yeah. That was one of them that I used to play a lot. Yeah, I played it on this PSP, the PSP 3000. And it's funny because what came in the mail, I think just yesterday, was it? It was this, the PSP 1000. I'm going through a bit of a collection phase right now, so I even got the PSP 1000, and the 3000. Yeah, and I purchased something else today as well. Probably I should stop. But yeah, I am kind of obsessed with these handheld gaming devices because back in the day I was not allowed to have a gaming device connected. I wasn't allowed to have a gaming device connected to my to our TV back in the day, so my only chance at having a video game life really was with portable devices. So that's why I love portable devices, and I couldn't get them at the beginning, but then I found ways through my uncle. Samantha says, "Okay, I gotta go. Thanks. I gotta go, Eric. Thanks for the amazing stream. No problem. And I'm glad you found it amazing because I didn't think it would be, given what we were doing. But thank you, Samantha. Hopefully next week things will go back to normal. I hope. So thank you very much, Samantha. I appreciate it. Take care." Big Bash says, "Can you do more streams of just the Q&A? You want me to do more streams of the Q&A? I guess so. We'll see what happens. I mean, I do one stream a week. I guess I could try to do more casual. You mean more casual streams like this on my phone? I could. Gary Loke says, Acolyte ritual scene is embarrassing. That's why most rituals you see are in a universal language. Or you see are in a universe language. Yeah, I do agree. That was a cringy, pathetic scene, that was. I'm thinking of getting the Alien vs. Predator games as Tyler. Cool, I heard a lot of people like that game. Did you play GTA 4 and 5? I played a little bit of 5. I never had GTA 4, unfortunately. Yeah, Dead Wolf. Uwe Boll does make the worst movies, but I've not seen his movie, so I can't really say. J-Dog says, I just turned 16 and got my first device connected to the TV. It was a PS5. I've been using a DS Lite my entire life. Quite the upgrade. Wow. You were using a DS Lite your entire life. I used it. Oh, I used a DS Lite. That was my first actual console too. My first actual console was also a DS Lite, and here is the DS Lite that I own. It's the black one, the glossy black one. Absolutely love this device. My first ever console was this, and it's great. Yeah, I love the Nintendo DS. I really do. And it looks like this might need a clean, but I had it in a case, so why would it need a clean? This is the DS Lite, yeah, which is a classic. But if you want to talk about what is supposed to be like a classic, but an ugly classic, here's the original, which is something I also got relatively recently. It's red. It's not this bright usually, but I think it's because it's looking at the screen over there, then reflecting on the screen here. I've shown it to you guys on the stream before, but yeah, this is the original DS. So yeah, compare that to this. It's so light, this. Like, this is heavier, I picked this up, felt like a feather, like it was so light. Who was asking me about Alien Covenant? Yeah, I've also got a black 3DS and I got a 3DS XL as well. Someone, I think one of you was asking me about Alien. That review will come out later. How long has the streak been on, says Tally? You mean the stream? I don't know. It's been on for, it says, an hour and 40 minutes. So at least you've been getting a stream, which is good. As opposed to not getting a stream at all. This is something, I would say. Eric, there is one more photo you need to see that will make you and everyone else laugh on Patreon. Okay, buddy, I'll show this last one. Because like I said, the stream is coming to an end. Ooh, by the way, where's the Time Shadow? Is he hiding out somewhere? Because he said he was going to find a way to keep me on the stream. It looks like he's not going to be able to. Oh, take care, Saeed. I appreciate you being here. Thank you very much. Oh, what's the next thing that... Oh, God, this is freaking ugly. Jess, this looks terrifying. Oh, boy. Morbius looks so bad that it makes the 50 Shades trilogy look awesome. It's Morb in time. Yeah, I've never seen the 50 Shades movies, and you guys know that if you look at my Patreon, I say that's a movie I'm not gonna ever review. And yeah, Jess, that face actually kind of freaks me out. That's kind of an ugly, ugly face that was. Oh boy. Do you like it, Eric? Says Jess. Yeah, it's good. A bit too good, I'd say. Yeah, G Gamer says, I have no idea who that guy is. Me neither. Gary Lux says, would you watch Migration, which has Keegan Michael Key? I hate that. Kumal Ninja, no. And Aquafit, no. That kept getting worse. Gary Loke, I swear you did that on purpose. No way would I watch Migration, which has Keegan Michael Key, Kumal Nanjiani, and Aquafina. I can't stand all their comedy tropes. At least in the movies. I'm not sure about how Keegan Michael Key was funny as Key and Peele and stuff, but even there he would get irritating at times. Oh, Eric, that was you doing the creepy face. I couldn't even tell that was you. So, everyone, if you want to apply a face to Jess, well, there you go. That is creepy, Jess. That face that you made. You all can make creepy faces when you think about it, actually. J-Dog says, are you ever going to go back to gaming reviews? If there's a high demand for it, but most of the gaming videos I'm going to do are going to be on my game show, on Patreon, and on my YouTube memberships. So that's what I'll be doing for the game, in terms of game-related content. How much money is Kraven the Hunter going to make? 1 more billion or 1 web billion? I don't know. I wish I could say something smart and clever here, but I don't think the movie deserves it, to be honest with you. Let's see. What do you think of Taken, Eric? I love the first Taken. I watched the uncut version, the unrated one. My parents watched the PG-13 cut, and they said it was nothing special, but then when I showed them the R-rated cut, they really enjoyed that. Craven and the Dark Knight, Big Bash. Oh, you done another Streamlabs King of the Monsters. All right, let's take a look. Streamlabs. There we go. Let's write that down. Thank you for the £1 Streamlabs chat, buddy. You did mention Godzilla 2014 and Godzilla X Kong, by the way, in your ranking. Which one do you think has better visual effects? Speaking of Kong, which Kong movie has the best VFX? Let's take another look. I'm going to copy this link, and then we can all have a look at it again. I didn't know I was supposed to be ranking them all. I thought you wanted to know what my thoughts were on... you wanted to know which one had the best effects. I didn't know you wanted the ranking on all of them. That's not... If you did, I would have actually done it. All right, the best effects for Godzilla. I'm still gonna say Peter Jackson's because Peter Jackson's had so much expression and there was a proper character behind it. It still looks great to this day. In terms of Godzilla effects, I can't rank these. I think there's too much to rank, and I can't remember them properly to do a proper ranking. So I'd say Godzilla looks better. Godzilla King of the Monsters, Godzilla versus Kong, then the first Godzilla, the 2014 one, and then in the Godzilla X Kong, the New Empire. Oh, just tell me whether Godzilla 14 or Godzilla X Kong was better. Godzilla 14? Oh, 14. Oh. I'd say Godzilla in the 2014 movie looked better than he did in Godzilla X Kong. In that, yeah, he looks better because in Godzilla X Kong everything looks a bit more cartoony, and I think it's because the budget was lower. The budget was around was it 100 and what was it? Was it like 115 or 150 million or something? Or was it less than that? I can't remember. 120 million. So yeah, they made it look more cartoony. J Dog says, "How have you heard they're making a Skibidi toilet movie directed by the dude who did Transformers? Can't remember his name, lol, or at least he's interested. Michael Bay, you mean? Yeah, I've heard about that in a few streams ago. Yeah, it's ridiculous, kind of ridiculous idea. Are you planning to make any YouTube shorts, says King Alex Ruler? Not for the moment, but I've got videos coming up. Okay, guys, I think this is longer than I said I was going to stay on for, so I think I'm gonna bid farewell to all of you now. Again, I apologize. Things didn't go as well as they should have. Robin, I do really like Van Helsing. A lot of people don't like it, but I find it enjoyable. Really, I do. But yeah, I'm sorry, guys. It didn't go as according to plan as it was supposed to. It really was quite sad. I'd feel disappointed and that it didn't work out, but you can't control all these things. So yeah, hopefully next week we'll be able to speak and pick up on this story and the internet will get better, hopefully. But yeah, so hopefully I'll have several days to kind of like, hopefully for the problem to iron itself out, because this was something that I don't know what to do. After you restart your computer, what else do you do? Maybe we'll try restarting the modem and seeing what happens, the router. But yeah. So yeah, thanks guys very much. Thanks for your donations. As always, I always say donations help, and I really appreciate that you guys have helped me out. King of the Monster says, will this be saved? I don't know. I hope it is. I do hope it is. It should be saved, I think. But yeah. Oh, thank you very much, Big Bash, for the comments. And goodbye to all of you. You're all giving me your goodbyes. Thank you very much for joining. I really do appreciate it. Thanks very much for still enjoying and sticking around with this version of the stream. And yeah, hopefully next week we can go back to normal. So thanks very much for watching, everyone, and I'll catch all of you very soon. Take care. Time Shadow says, what is your favorite versus video for £2? All right, everyone, hold on a second. My favorite versus video. Live long and prosper, Eric, says Skyzer. My favorite versus video, Time Shadow, is what was it? I've got a lot of them. I don't know. I'll say Big Bashy is at it again. Yeah, King of the Monsters. Yeah, wait, Time Shadow. They're like, what was it? What was one of my favorite ones? I really like my Jumanji versus video. I put in the joke with the South Park ones in there, the South Park characters, and I actually put the music in for Jumanji. It was a beautiful music to put in that video. I really enjoyed that. So I would say the Jumanji versus video. I'm sure there must be others, but I've made so many that I can't keep track of all of them. But that's the one that comes to mind. This Big Bash has the Snyder Cut video. I really enjoyed that one too. That was also a great versus video as well. Yeah. Whenever I make good use of music, I love how it syncs with the tone of my voice and with how I'm speaking and how I'm talking about the thing. I do love then seeing how the music reflects the tone of what I'm saying, basically. Hang on, let me just stick this charger in. Yeah, so that's basically, yeah, those are a couple of my favorite videos, the Jumanji one and the Snyder Cut one, and heck, I even love the It versus videos that I did. So that's it, and okay, the Time Shadows had it again, £2. £2. I'm just laughing because Big Bash said, "Donate more, Time Shadow." I actually thought that I actually had everything together, but turns out the stream has been hijacked. I thought I was going to be able to end it, and I was like, haha, Time Shadow is not showing up. Little did I know. Did you disappear, Time Shadow, or did you just were you on the stream the whole time? Because you came in right at the end where I thought it was over. How did you come up with the idea doing versus videos? The idea came about when I was thinking of doing something new because I used to do technology reviews, but I gave up on it and I thought I'm gonna move on, do something different. And then I thought, how about doing a versus video? Because the reason I thought of doing a versus video is because the Lemony Snicket's A Series of Unfortunate Events show was coming out. And I thought, how about I do a versus video between that first season of the show with the first movie? So I did that, and it ended up being effective. The video actually, I actually said when in my announcement video before I made that Lemony Snicket's video, I says if this works, I'll do more. And all these years later, I'm still doing it. So that's where it came from. And yeah, I've been enjoying doing it ever since, and they've all been really successful as they've been going on with even 1.5 million, was it 1.4 or 1.5 million views on the Snyder versus video. So that's where it came about. So yeah, thank you very much, the Time Shadow, for that super chat. Time Shadow says, I didn't disappear, I was just biding my time. Yeah, you really do sound like you're like when you say you're keeping someone hostage, I'm just biding my time. Who says that? I'm just biding my time. It's like, yeah, you're at it again, what you did last week and now. So yeah, it looks like Time Shadow was stopped. So I think that's not about it. Oh man. I'm gonna be eating my words from what I said earlier when I was like, there's no way. I was like, I think I'll have a handle on it. Turns out I'm not. Oh, let's see. I have to write that down as always. That's a £2 £2 donation. What's the most you charge for commission video? The most I charge right now, I think, is $500. That's for a three-way versus video. But if someone wants me to do, say, like one person right now, it's you, the Time Shadow. What am I saying? One person, it's you. Wants me to do a Stranger Things video. I have been thinking about prices, buddy, in the head. I was like, to watch the whole of season 4, make a whole video on it. I was like, how much would I charge for that? And it is, I think, £1,000, basically. So there you go. That's that. When you were looking for a number, in terms of the work that it would be and how long the video itself would be, about 45 minutes, I think, is how I was going to make it, unless I managed to condense my thoughts in a way that gets all the information out in less time. That's essentially what it would be. So I wonder if that's what you're asking when you say what's the most you charge for a commission video. It'd probably be that, because that's such a big undertaking to make a video like that. Skies says, Time Shadow going to rob you of the night. A dastardly plan indeed. Well, he can try. I don't think he can keep it up forever. Having said that, he's just done another one. Time Shadow says, would you rather watch both Venoms or Morbius? Well, hang on. Let me first write this down. The donation amount. That is a cruel question, that is, the Time Shadow. Would you rather watch both Venoms or Morbius? I'd rather watch Morbius. Because Venom 1 I can sit through, it's tolerable, but Venom 2 was not. And Morbius was not good, but I would rather sit through one Morbius than the two Venoms, because if it means skipping Venom 2, yeah, Morbius. Heck, I'd watch Madam Web if it means skipping Venom 2. Because Venom 2 was just noise. It was just so much noise to me, and yeah. So yeah, looks like the Time Shadow. Tyler Edwards says, thanks for answering my stuff. No problem, buddy. Jess says, Eric, this is more like an April Fool's stream. Kind of is, yeah. All right then, it looks like Time Shadow has not done another. So yeah, I think that's about it. I actually thought Time Shadow was going to make it go on for longer than that, but turns out he didn't. So, buddy, now you've just... It's like you couldn't think of a question, so you just did a £1 one. Let me just write that down. Australian dollars is $5. And let's see, what did you do? You did a £1. Okay, then, so that's £1. Are you in the UK, Time Shadow? Because you use not dollars, you use British currency that I use. So are you in the UK? The Time Shadow says, I had to keep it going somehow. I didn't have another big question. I thought you had prepped all these. You said you were saving all your donations for the end. I thought you had probably prepped questions that you could just send one after the other. Yeah, you are in the UK. Oh, okay, that's good. I like when I get viewers in the UK because most of my viewership revolves are in the US. So that's interesting. Brandon, thoughts on Ultron coming back? That's actually what I was going to discuss in today's story. I'll save that for next week because I've got quite a bit to say about that. So I won't spoil it right now in like just a quick line. I'll save that. Time Shadow says, quick, where's Sarah and Jake when you need them? Well, Sarah's gone to sleep because she's got school tomorrow, and Jake, I don't know where Jake is. Maybe he's working or he's busy. That guy is very busy, but yeah. I wonder where Adam Grunther is. I haven't seen him in a stream or two. But he did comment on my Patreon recently, so that was nice. But yeah, love all you guys. Thank you very much. Time Shadow, you tried to keep me here longer, but Jess says Adam might be on vacation. Yeah, it might be. You tried to keep me on for longer, and what's the word? I salute your efforts, but yeah, you just did another one. What, King of the Monsters? I don't want to be missing anything. You guys know I don't like missing any of those questions from you guys. Oh no, so you didn't do another one. I'm caught up. So yeah, a lot of you are saying hail to the captain and everything. Looks like some of you even came back to the stream because you realized I didn't end it. Well, that's the Time Shadow for you. But yeah, thank you very much, the Time Shadow. You tried. You have kept me on for longer, and I hope you enjoyed my extra time on the live stream for being on here longer. I hope you enjoyed it. So yeah, thanks as always, all of you. I love every single one of you. I did what I could. You did the Time Shadow, and like I say, it went. King of the Monster says it went through. Let's see if it went through on Streamlabs. Oh, there you go. It has gone through. So there you go. Sarah and Jake might not be here, but looks like King of the Monsters is. Let's see, what have you got here? Favorite original Monsterverse Titan. Let's see. Okay, you want me to say... Oh, connected to a charger here. Okay, so you want me to pick the best out of these. Oh, the Behemoth looks kind of interesting. This one's actually called Doug. Tiamat, Skullcrawler. I'd say the Behemoth looks interesting, but actually, I can't remember what the Behemoth did. Was he just there in Godzilla King of the Monsters? If so, I would say Shimu. Shimu, I think is what it was. I'd say Shimu is probably the best one. Even though it looks kind of like a weird creature in the monsters. That was right. He was just there in King of the Monsters. He showed up at the end, didn't he? Yeah, it wasn't great. Yeah, so I'd say Shimo. Yeah, it says King of the Monsters. Okay, Shimo. So yeah, Shimo is probably the best one. All right then. Back to me. Thanks very much, and the worst, says King of the Monsters. Do worst as well. Okay, the worst. I'd say the worst is probably those Cloverfield monsters, but Doug looks like a very close second. So yeah, I'd say the Mutos are probably the worst ones. Yeah, I'd probably say the Mutos. Time Shadow, I see your message, but that is a lot to memorize right now. Let's think then. Okay. Yeah, King of the Monsters, I am doing Doug like that. Not free yet. Time Shadow's got one last question. All right. I would say, in terms of the Star Wars movies, I would say it's five, six, three, four, um, two, two and one, and then I would say it's The Force Awakens, Rise of Skywalker, and Last Jedi. There you go. I've ranked them all. Now I'm free. So New Hope is not low. It's just I love the third movie, especially because of what the Clone Wars did. But I do love A New Hope. But New Hope was more simple. It was a more simple Star Wars movie. I like it when they got a little bit more sophisticated, which I feel like the other ones did. Anyway, now I am free. I'm gonna head out. It's 1:05 a.m. in the morning right now. So thanks everyone. Like I said, hopefully next stream will be better. Hopefully next stream will be better and everything will go back to normal. So thanks everyone. I'm sorry I couldn't talk about the stories this stream, but hopefully we'll be able to talk about the stories next stream. So Captain Eric loves all of you. Thank you very much for all your support and your donations and just everything, being the best viewers a content creator could ask for. Thanks very much, and I'll catch all of you very soon. Take care.